different from the science that we may have learned in schools and colleges. And also the foundational understanding may not be exactly the same. What is being discussed here is the elements. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayuhu Kam Mano Buddhir Evacha Ahankaram Itiyam Me Binna Prakriti Ashtada. Isn't it? In Bhagavad Gita, does he discuss about atoms and molecules anywhere? Did you hear? Anu. You must have heard Anu only. Andantara Paramanu Jayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. That I enter the atom. That you have heard. But did you hear in Bhagavad Gita anywhere atoms and molecules as the foundation and this thing? So, but the only thing you hear is these 8 elements. And Prabhupada will translate that as elemental. You know that? Elemental. Fundamental, elemental. Bhumi Rapo Anara Vayu. Earth, water, fire, air, sky. Mind, intelligence, and ego. And Krishna says, these are my Bhinna Prakriti Rashtada, my separated energy. So, sometimes people wonder, what is matter made of? What is matter? It's explained here by Sankhya philosophy. Matter constitutes this, earth, water, fire, air, sky. He did not say it is atoms and molecules. Why? You study what? You study? It's made of atoms and molecules, no? What is the basic this thing? Now they'll tell you atom is actually fully hollow. Now in science they'll tell you it's completely space only. There is absolutely no solid mass, barrenness. They'll tell you that. So here you learn about matter in terms of elemental matter. Earth, water, fire, air, sky. Then it goes to subtler things, mind, intelligence, and false ego. This is classified inside Prakriti. Means inside matter. Your mind, intelligence, and false ego is also matter. That you must know. Right? You use your mind all the time. Or your mind uses you. One of those things happen. Mostly our mind is so strong and powerful because we are spiritually low that we feel the mind in consciousness all the time as the person. But it is matter. It is subtle matter. Like air is subtle air. But you study in your science that it is made out of mostly nitrogen and oxygen and some rare gases and everything together. You study that. And then you know it is matter. It is not the type of matter that you have here, gross. It is subtle matter, very fine matter. Similarly, mind, intelligence, and ego also is very fine matter. Energies, like you know, a magnetic field, Faraday's law. Those of you who have studied some science and physics. The field is cut, electricity is produced. You know, motor, how it functions. Magnetic field is not something that you can see with your eyes, but it's there, the energy. Same way, mind is a powerful material field of force. So also subtler than the mind. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhya paramanaha manasastu parabuddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. Krishna is giving hierarchy of subtlety. The senses in the body, they are one level. And subtler than that is the mind. Subtler than the mind is the intelligence. Subtler than them all is that person, you. Yo buddhe paratastu, para means beyond all this, saha, he means soul. You are very subtle. Why? It's a different category completely. It's spirit. This is matter. Okay? Subtle matter, gross matter, everything. So this shloka is talking about sound. These are called tanmatras. Sense of touch, sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of smell, like that. They're all tanmatras. They normally call it, in simple language, Prabhupada calls them objects of the senses. The senses and the objects of the senses are tied together in a contract. They fix themselves with each other. They go for it. The eyes goes for the objects of the eyes. What's good form, what looks nice. The nose goes for what smells good. And so these are objects of the sense. This is how you get gratification. How you enjoy matter is through the tanmatras and through the sense objects and the sense. Going down to what is enjoyment. You're having material enjoyment, no? We have through all our senses material enjoyment. You have very good food to eat, your mouth salivates. That sense of taste. If you didn't have the taste sense, no use of having the tongue. If you cannot smell, no use of having the nose. During COVID time, many people lost sense of smell, you know. Hey, what here? I can't smell my food. I can taste it, but I can't smell it. So half the enjoyment is gone. Have you eaten? When you have a very bad cold, you only taste. That's why you don't like it much. Worst thing is when you're very depressed. Then you don't like to eat at all. Have you seen that? When you're anxious, you have an exam to write, you have a problem, you have this, you have to solve. Then your mother is saying, eat and go. Please, she's only bothered about your body. Please eat and go. Take rest and go. She's always bothered about your body. And just to satisfy, you eat something, but you're not focusing on the eating. You're not really tasting. You don't even have experience. Sometimes, did I eat today? I mean, I've been so busy. Did I eat? It happens to me quite often. In fact, after eating again, I'll say, did I eat? So you are not conscious. You can see how it operates. The soul is situated inside matter. Right? What is it, shloka in the 13th chapter? Krishna describes all the 24 elements. Now it's quiz. What are the shloka that Krishna describes all the 24 elements and how you are situated inside in the Bhagavad Gita? Sankhya philosophy, Krishna explains 2nd chapter, 13th chapter also. Mahabhutanya hankaro buddhirapyaktamevacha indriyani dashaikamcha panchachendriya gochara. You know the shloka and the next shloka also. Krishna explains Mahabhutani Ahankara means the 5 great Panchamahabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, sky. Then the 3, Ahankara, Buddhir, Abhyaktamevacha, 3, 8. Indriyani Dashaikamcha, senses 4, 10. That is what? Knowledge acquiring senses and working senses, together 10. So 10 plus 8 is 18. Panchachendra Gocharaha. And then he explains how there are, what more, the tanmatras that I explained now, 5. So 18 plus 5 comes to 23. Then time, 24. Then you, 25. Totally there are 25. If you add you also. You are unique because you are spirit inside this matter. This body is made out of these 25 things. But you are not the body. Your soul, right? That is explained in great detail. And you are getting your kicks, your real enjoyment out of contacting the objects of the senses. This is what's going on. You're using this vehicle and going behind to enjoy. You should not be doing this, is what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. You are wasting your time. So Sankhya philosophy, very interesting for people who know physics and science. It will teach you bit by bit, breaking down the whole body, cutting it down. And so this is what you're made of. Put it together, this is what you're made of. But you are not this. At the end of life, this will be finished. This will become obsolete. But you will survive beyond. Why? You are not matter. Matter has got a cycle coming into being. What is the 4 cycles of matter? Birth. I put in a different way, in technical terms. Coming into being, that is birth. Growth. Sustenance. Reproduction. And death. Then you disappear. Isn't it? But you don't disappear. Your whole system disappears. It goes through this. So you are a constant changeless core. Around you, this flux is moving. You are forever existing. But each time you manifest yourself, you become conscious with the body, you go around enjoying, then you die. Then you come back again. But you are always existing. So in the Sankhya philosophy chapter, brilliantly explained, Kapila is telling his mother, because mother wants to know. See, we are all living inside the material world. We don't know how it works. Neither do they teach you in science fully how it works. Because their epistemology, their methodology of understanding is different. It will take a very long time for them because it's very empirical what they understand. They find out everything themselves. Oh, it must be like this, not like this, like this. And they have to work it out. And they make mistakes and they come back. It takes a long time. But here Krishna is directly telling, this is how it is done. I did it. I am the maker. I am the creator. This is how it's created. And I put you inside that. Which chapter Krishna explains that? 14th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning Krishna will explain. Mama yonir mahat brahma tasmin garbham dadami ham sambhavaha sarva bhuteshu. Krishna explains, this material creation is coming from me. It's one of my energies. And then inside that I impregnate the living entities. The souls, I impregnate them. Right? They go inside and they come out by the secondary creation of Brahma with all bodies, all these different types of bodies, according to their karma and desire. Cockroach body, mosquito body, elephant body, whale's body, bird's body, demigod body, human body, Mangalorean body, Tulu body, Kerala body, Reddy body, all types of things it comes out. Massive arrangement it is. They all come out with these bodies and they become body conscious and they become, I am Tulu. I am Dravidian, like going on in Tamil Nadu now. I am Dravidian, I am Aryan, I am this, I am that bodily consciousness, right? If you know the Sankhya philosophy, you will know I am not that. I am not that. That is the way this comes. Soham asmi. That is the Mahavakya which they use in the Mayavad. Are you that? No, I am not that. Are you that supreme, absolute Soham? No, I am not that. Aham Brahmasmi. I know that I am spirit. I am not Param Brahmasmi. I am Brahmasmi. Like this, by question and answer method in the Upanishads, you will get to know that I am not this, but I am Brahma. I am spirit. This way we have to understand what you are not and what you are. It's a technical way of understanding by questioning, and I am not this. So Prabhupada used this whole format. He explained Sankhya philosophy very simply, I think in a school in London somewhere. They're all thinking, what is this old monk is going to teach us? Young, bright students. So Prabhupada sat down there and we could see that all of them are giggling. It's completely misfit. 70-year-old, 80-year-old man with the. So they were young and bright. So Prabhupada said, who is the most intelligent amongst all of you? Yes, so a nice question. So they are very happy. This person, that person, they're all. And then they push the monitor in the front, the school monitor, the head. He is, that's why he became. So he said, please come here. So he came up, very bold and confident. Prabhupada said, I'm going to ask you a few questions. He said, And then Prabhupada told him, where is your nose? He said, what? Where is your nose? Where's my nose? And they were all giggling again. What question? This guy really does not know anything much. Where is your eyes? Point out to me, eyes. He said, eyes. Ears. Mouth, leg, hands, liver inside. Then he was getting tired. What is this man telling me? And then afterwards, suddenly Prabhupada asked, where are you? He asked, where are you? He said, all this belongs to me. My nose, my eyes, my ears, my throat, my liver, my pancreas. Where are you? He asked. And the boy became suddenly serious. Giggling all stopped. So all this belongs to you, you said. Where are you? Point out to you. He couldn't. Then he said, anybody knows? They all became very serious. They were all looking at each other. And then Prabhupada said, go and sit down. He did an elimination round. What you are not, he told him to point out. When he asked him what it is you, he does not know. He doesn't know. So in our education system, they teach you everything that you are not. They don't teach you what you are. Because they don't know. It's very simple, they don't know. It's very amazing. The knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavat is so high compared to what we know. You learn a lot about rocket science and how to shoot something into space. But if you ask you one question, who am I? Who are you? We're down. You can't answer the question. That is what Prabhupada focused on and said that, so you don't know. You don't know who you are. He proved it publicly. Then he went and told them, you are spirit soul. The Bhagavad Gita tells that you are spirit soul and you are not this body. So Sankhya is like that. Sankhya, we get to know, Sankhya means to count. Bit by bit to take it out. This is not me. Bhumi, I am not. Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam, Buddhi. This way, I am not this because I use these things. Right? I use these things. It will give you a very powerful realization that who am I? Because all these things are temporary and they disappear. Then who am I? That's when self-realization starts. Self-realization starts when you start really asking, who am I? I've just been mechanically doing all these things, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, taking up a job, having children, having family, getting them married, and I'm hanging now like this. What the hell is going on? Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? These are questions of self-realization. Mostly people don't ask these questions. It takes somebody like him to come to this world and ask this question. Who are you? What are you doing? Hey, what? What is it? This is a question not required. I want to become a chartered accountant. I want to become an engineer. I want to become a politician. I want to make money and I enjoy it. What's the necessity for all these questions? But when you have problems in life and you meet with various situations, then only you want to think about why is this problem. So Krishna has made this situation with problems in it. That's why he calls it in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam Napnuvanti Mahatmana. I have designed it to be Dukkha Alayam. It is part of the design. And people wonder, what a cruel God he is here. He's designing the whole world with Dukkha in it. But he's used the word Dukkha Alayam. Just imagine, the title given for this world is Dukkha Alayam, and you're sitting inside and smiling. It's because you don't know, that's why you're smiling. You don't know what's going on here. I don't think you'll name, any of you name your new house Dukkha Alayam. Please walk inside. Will you? You'll all put Sukha Alayam, Sukh Sagar, that this thing, Sukh and all that stuff you put. Nobody will put Dukkha Alayam. Inauguration, Griha Pravesham, please come. What do you say in Kannada? Elloru Barbeguri, Dukha Alaya, inauguration, Graha Pravastha, Banni. Nobody will come. We'll go there and suffer. It's very inauspicious. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkha Alayam Ashashvatam, it will not last. This is the name of this place, and you are inside that. If a person with some gray matter between the ears, you should wake up to that call. You should at least wake up and say, why are you calling it Dukkha Alayam, Krishna? Yeah, I made it. It's designed for misery. Obsolescence. Your body will disappear in front of you, you'll watch it. Your teeth will fall down, you will watch it. Why it is designed like that? So that you'll see you're not the body, you're not this. If you don't, then you don't have brains. Then take another life. Come on, again. Again, try it. Again, try it. This is exactly what's going on. It is all illusion only, but you don't know. So you go through the illusion again and again and again. Shankaracharya has spoken about this very nicely. I say, what is it? Angam galitam palitam mundam dasavihina dasham tundam vruddhoyati grihitva dandam tadapina munchati asha pindam. Very beautifully he is mentioned. He said, Angam galitam. All your limbs have become atrophied. The flesh is gone, the skin is wrinkling, and it's only bones and skin. Angam galitam. Palitam mundam. Your hair all fallen off, you become a munda. It's all bald, shiny head. No hair on it. Becoming old. Dasavihinam jatam. All your teeth also have fallen down. You open your teeth and smile, there are no teeth. In Tamil Nadu, they call it pokavayan. Vayadurna pallilla. They'll say pokavayan. Open your mouth, no teeth. Vridduhati. Tadapina munchati asha pindam. Vriddoyati grihitva dandam. And to walk, you need a stick. Wow. Tadapina munchati asha pindam. But the hard knot of desire in your heart, that has not decreased. Everything else is decreased. Tadapina munchati asha pindam. That is not decreased. So take another birth. Another birth and another birth, another birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Jatasihi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Krishna is telling that you're dead means you'll be born again. If you're born, you'll be dead again. You're going through this. Why? Because you do not know what is going on. What is going on? Who is doing this to me? Why I am in this situation? Why I am constantly beaten with temporary ashashvatam? Die, be born again. Again die, be born again. It's ragging. You get attached to children, family, friends, property, money, house, everything. Tabak, die. With that attachment, you die. You feel so much. Then you're born again. Then you cultivate more attachments. And then you're again dead. Is it not something wrong? Something wrong with the design? No, it is correct design. It's meant to teach you. It's meant to teach you. So Sankhya philosophy highlights that. Highlights what you're made of and how it is temporary. It's not unreal. It is temporary. And every time it ends, keeps ending. It's constantly ending. Then you'll ask, why can't it be without ending? I want to live with my children, with my mother, with my father, with my wife, with my husband, with my daughters, with that, I want to live forever. Why is it ending like this? Good question. You can live forever. Then Krishna presents in Bhagavad Gita. He says that Natat bhashayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yat katva na nivattante tathamam paramam mama. He's enticing you and saying, the type of place that you want, with no end, no destruction, no birth, no death, that is my place. That is my place. Worship me and come back to me. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. You got anitya, not permanent. Asukham, full of misery, lokam, you got. Now at least you understand. Bhajasvama, worship me. It means it's punishment for you for not knowing, not worshipping me. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. So by reading Sankhya philosophy, you will come to know this is temporary. It is not me. It's a very powerful lesson. We must all think about it. That is why Kapila is describing the whole material detail. So you'll understand you are not part of it. I don't belong to this. I am a spirit soul forever. Jivera Surupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. I am eternally a servant of Krishna. Therefore, what should I do? I should develop my relationship with Krishna. I should live in the reality, not in the falsity. That should be, then I'll lead a real life and I'll live forever and I'll live in the absolute truth. And that's where I belong. I don't have to repeatedly suffer separation. I can continuously have relationship with my spiritual family, with Krishna as my Supreme Father. Pita hamasya jagato mata data pitamaha. He's telling, I'm your father, grandfather, mother, everybody for you, yeah. Permanently, and I'm waiting to establish that relationship with you. Why don't you look at my side? You're repeatedly trying something that doesn't work. So Sankhya philosophy will make you reflect that and try to be situated in the real. Om Tat Sat. Sesh. Boss has said so. If anybody has any one or two questions, I can answer. I just spoke on the shloka that you gave me a little bit and rounded it up with some. Prashna there, correct? Oh, there are other people online. I'm sorry. Any question you have, anybody can direct a question. We have less time. We are supposed to board a train at 10:30, 10:45. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the wonderful session. Maharaj, one of your lectures I heard you saying that we are spirit soul with human experience. We are not human beings with spiritual experience.
We are spirits. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. That's a statement of a very famous bishop, Christian bishop, Archbishop or something. His realization. I put it up because it sort of rings a bell in people when you're introducing them to Bhagavad Gita. So we are spiritual beings means we are eternal. We are temporarily having a human experience. Our human experience is not permanent. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches you. But we are not human beings temporarily having a spiritual experience. Like if you come for Sunday program every week, throughout the week, one time you have spiritual experience. Little bit, that will for 2 hours out of the 24 hours of the Sunday. So some people can do only that much. Weekly, I go to the temple. I go there and pray to the Lord. That's my spiritual experience. Basically, I'm a human being. Spiritual experience is like a hobby for me once in a week. I go sometimes I do a little chanting, I go to the temple. But actually, if you do that regularly, you'll come to know that actually spiritual experience is everything for me. That is temporary. My human experience is temporary. It will turn the other way around. If you actually go to the temple, we actually go to the temple and hear and understand. The temple going and the weekly experience should turn you around completely. The reality is that you are a spiritual being having a temporary human experience. And since you are not understanding the reality, you are repeatedly given that punishment of human experience. It's not that you are permanently human. It's like somebody fails the MBBS exam and writes it again and again and again. Doesn't mean he's a permanent student. The guy is failed. He's supposed to graduate and go out and be a doctor fully practicing. I remember in my engineering days, I had one senior who has been there for 8 years writing the exam and he stays in the hostel. Very rich guy and extremely brilliant guy. And his father has to call up from there and tell please take him to the examination hall, tell him to write this. But he's a brilliant guy with electronics and everything. He hates the exams. And I'm sure that he knows more than the guy who set the exam question paper. He just hates it. He just goes because his father is told him to sit down there and fail the exam and come back. 8 years. So it does not mean that he is permanently a student. No, the guy is not doing properly. He has to pass out to become a doctor. So because we repeatedly take lives, it's because you're failing to perfect your life. That's why Prabhupada told us a human form of life, very important, with good facilities for passing the exam. Do it. Don't slip down. Right? Appear. Otherwise, you have to reappear and reappear and reappear. You should take it up. So, you are a spiritual being having a temporary human experience, cross it easily. If you know this, you will cross it. But if you think that I'm a human being, my daughter, my son, my property, my this thing, my that thing, all the time, you're living a human life, and you, because of your distress, you come to the temple. Please. That's the meaning of thinking that you're a human being having a human spiritual experience. So Prabhupada's movement is not meant for that. It's meant for one visit to the temple and you become totally changed if you read his books. Yeah.
Take one online question.
Yeah, okay, please.
One online question. Sunil ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It is wonderful to hear from on an Ekadasi day and privileged to be part of this Bhakti movement. And thank you very much for enlightening us. My question is, isn't it a contrary that Krishna is also saying us to take care of our parents and also be in Bhakti Yoga?
Isn't it contrary that Krishna is also telling us to take care of our parents and everybody and also do Bhakti Yoga? It's not contrary. It's not contrary. Because as long as you're inside the prison house, you have to look after yourself. If you don't remain alive, you cannot become free from the prison. There's no meaning in you becoming freedom, having freedom from the prison house. So you must attend to your needs in your conditioned state. There is constitutional state, that is a liberated state that you have, and the conditioned state. In the conditioned state, you must do conditional duties. You have conditional life duties also. Otherwise, you cannot exist in the conditional life fit for getting the constitutional position or the liberated position. We acquire liberation only through being certain rules and regulations in conditional life we have to follow. Unless you are such a great person that you're already liberated when you are born, like Shukadeva Goswami. When he was born, he walked out of his house, liberated. That you can see. Yam Pravarjantam. He just left his house and left. We are not like that. We're all born into conditional life. And there are conditional life duties. We perform them with the aim of achieving constitutional life. So you cannot prematurely, artificially give up your conditioned life without developing the necessary consciousness and the improvement in your consciousness and in your bhakti to become liberated. So if you are following a principle, a spiritual instruction from Sadguru, like Bhakti Swami Prabhupada, then you have to do two duties together. constitutional duties and conditional duties. But unless you become fully liberated, you should not stop doing the conditional duties. That is the instruction of Krishna to Uddhava in the 11th canto. He said, you must continue as long as you are not fully free from the influence of material consciousness. You must do what is necessary. So therefore, we must look after our parents, but don't do it at the expense of your constitutional duty. You cannot say, because I have to look after my parents, I can never bother about my spiritual life. It's like saying in the prison, because I have to eat and I have to do this job they've given me as a prisoner of picking the stones, I can never become freed. Because it is so much occupying my time. I have forgotten leaving the jail. That is stupid, no? So at no point of time can you do your conditional duties at the expense of your constitutional duty or expense of your liberated situation, which you are doing. You have to balance that. That is why you need Guru to teach you how to do that. That's what Prabhupada has set up in establishing the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And they help you to balance it. Spiritual life is all about balancing, especially if you're a grahastha, you need to balance this and that without losing importance for spiritual life. Knowing that to be the central most important thing. Okay? So don't think that if you take up spiritual life, you cannot do anything material life. If you have to keep in material life, I cannot do anything spiritual life. No, both are wrong. You have to gradually transit from one to the other. And it happens over a period of time by detachment and cultivation of Krishna consciousness over a period of time. You should continue to do your duties with detachment. First you do with attachment, then you do with a little detachment, then you do with more detachment, then you're fully detached and you do, and then afterwards you become fully attached to Krishna. Then it doesn't matter if you don't do. In stages you go like that. So that's the instruction given by Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield. Different types he explains to him in the 3rd chapter, the 5th chapter, right up to 18th chapter, he says different ways. Work, they talk about work-life balance in the outside world. This is real work-life balance. How you balance your Krishna consciousness with the rest of the duties in the world. Because the conditioned state is not real. It's not real. Prabhupada explained it by saying that water has got a state where it becomes ice if you freeze it. Water is same water only, but it comes out as ice cubes. It's frozen. But does it behave like water? You can hurt somebody with it. It's water, but you can hurt using ice. It is conditioned state. It's not the natural property of water to be ice. As soon as you put it outside, it will become normal. It will become water. In water state only, it does its properties and everything are normal. So you are now ice in conditioned state. This is not your real state. Your real state is Jivera Surupu Hoi Krishnera Nityadas, like water. Ice state is conditioned state. Right? But ice is required for cooling the drink in the summer. Ice is required for medical emergencies. Ice is required for this. Ice is required for that and all that. Certain situations you require it while you're in the material world. You use it like that. But you're always thinking of becoming normal water. I hope that's helpful to you. Okay, what's his name?
Sunil,
Sunil?
you like to take more questions?
Sunil ji, Hare Krishna. I wish I could take more questions, but I need to take my breakfast and my medicine. And these are conditioned state duties. If I don't look after it, my liberation will get screwed up. So allow me to go and do some of my conditioned state duties, which I have to. I'm under treatment. I have to take some kashayam and some legume and all.
Say Hare Krishna to everybody.
So please excuse me. Om Tat Sat.
Dandavats Pranam. Hare Krishna Swami.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam. Hare Krishna
Prabhuji, Dandavad Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
People online,
Krishna Prabhuji, Danda Pranam.
I can do the eating for all of you.
Krishna
Hare Krishna.
I'm giving out
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
I hope you will get the
Thank you for the wonderful speech.
subtle aspect of it that we discussed today in terms of the subtle taste.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, कैसे हैं?
Thank you everybody for joining. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.